request Ewan Macmillan. I'm going to request Ewan Macmillan to pay tribute to Baluch Shoda. I'll call Ewan Macmillan.
Thank you. Shahid SB.Bugti remarked, as has already been noted, that history is easy to learn and difficult to make. I think the ways in which history is told are very important. Obviously, the most important history is the history that a mother tells her son, or a father tells his daughter. The collective history, as it's told by one group to another, is in a way the most important kind of history. But there are also other ways in which history is told. And I have, in recent years, wondered how this can be used to cure the suffering of a people and of individuals. And the Baluch are, of course, among the most patient of people that I've encountered across the years. And your patience has served you well in the 6 rebellions that you have pursued against the Pakistani authorities since independence. My particular interest is in history as told through the courts, and I'm working with UCL at the moment on a project to categorize injuries, which are an important element in court testimony increasingly. And at the moment, unfortunately, as Dr. Summit has noted, the Home Office is in a state of denial. I mean, it's always in the interest of Western governments to deny the suffering of people. That is government policy. It's not merely a question of stupidity, but I always feel that one of the most powerful unused tools for countering this denial are the injuries on people's bodies. Over the past 15 years, I've worked on many Iranian cases, and I have become aware of the particular characteristics of torture in Iran. I don't think we're anywhere near that state of awareness on the techniques used by the ISI. We all know that the torture techniques used by the ISI on Baluch are particular. They differ from the Iranian techniques, for instance. But the British courts are completely unaware of this. So I'm hoping that this project will include Baluchi cases. I'm hoping that any of you who have escaped from the clutches of the ISI and made it to London will make certain that that your injuries are examined by qualified doctors proficient in what's called the Istanbul Protocol. That is the protocol that determines how a doctor should analyze each injury. And that link between the individual body and the history of a people is one that preoccupies me very deeply. I've invited another illustrious university to participate with UCL in this project, and I hope that they will do so. And the only other point I'd like to make in this context of the interpretation of Baluchi asylum applications by the English courts and other courts is that the whole question of the relationship between the ISI and the Iranian security services has not been adequately adumbrated, not been adequately described in court. The focus has really been on the Iranian side of the equation in Western occupied Balochistan. And but we all know, for instance, as the preceding speaker noted, that that the Iranians could not have arrested Abdul Malik Rigi without the assistance of the ISI. And so sometimes the relationship between these two agencies is hostile or competitive, but other times it's deeply cooperative. And these are things that need to be understood by the English courts. That, I think, is all I have to say at the time being, other than saying Balochistan Zendekbar, is that correct? And there will struggle be evident in the determinations of the courts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Macmillan. Neyman दावत दिया गुआर बानोक मैं निगारा की बेवती आला थानी ज़ारा गुआर मैं निगारा
Lashman, Pisar, Goshan Sat, Soto Salam, Drusin Shaydan Watan, Martin Watan Balochistan. I will speak in English, if that's okay with you, because there are, of course, slight differences in the dialect of Baluchi that I speak. For some of you, it may be quite difficult to comprehend. It is just heart-wrenching to witness what we are facing as a nation. Daily the pictures come up, whether it be on Facebook or various other internet outlets and media, of the mutilated bodies, bullet-riddled bodies of men, women, children, and we come to the awareness that we are facing really a calculated form of ethnic cleansing by both the Iranian and the Pakistani regimes. And the intended outcome is not only the complete annihilation of our identity, of the Baluch identity and existence. For example, you are aware that in Western Baluchistan, instruction in the Baluchi language is strictly forbidden. The teaching of Baluch history is completely forbidden. And if you can imagine that over all of these decades of occupation, Baluch children that are attending schools are completely unaware of their origins, their history, and of course I don't think I need to explain the connection which you are all aware of between language and identity and culture. These are things that intertwine and they link up, and they're crucially important for the continuation of any nation. In eastern Balochistan, the situation is just as horrific, as we are aware, because the number of dead is just rising. And there are no words to describe this, really. We have been in this failed state called Pakistan for nigh on 60 years. Nothing, absolutely nothing, has come from this union. I remember many years ago crossing the border through Gwadar, through that whole region that is completely poverty-stricken, and being witness to the destitution of our people. And it was absolutely horrific. No clean drinking water, no access to education, no employment opportunities, which makes most of the Baluch migrate out of the area. And these are exactly what the Iranian and the Pakistani regimes had intended from the outset. To occupy our land. Of course, they want our land, they want our resources, but we as the Baluch, no thank you, they do not want us. They do not want our culture, they do not want our identity, they do not want our language. But, and this is a testimony to all the martyrs that have given their lives for us to be able to attain this vision of an independent, democratic Baluch state. And I believe that actually, all of us, we are coming towards this point. And we cannot allow the blood of the martyrs to have been spilt in vain. We must unify. We must pull together all of our resources, academically, professionally, on the ground, back there, in terms of charity work, in order to help sustain this movement, because there is a great vision at the end of this movement. And it is that vision that has to guide us forwards. And that vision is a Baluchistan that stretches all the way from, from Western Baluchistan, we used to go into, actually, deep into Western Balochistan, but from Zaidan to Quetta, all the port areas of Gwadar, Chabahar, this is all Greater Balochistan. It is all Baloch land. It's our land. It belongs to us. And we must have complete control of our resources. Otherwise, we do not have any future at all. So it is important right now for all of us to really take this into very serious consideration, to set aside all of our differences, because I cannot reiterate this enough, that whilst these divisions are going on, and let us be very honest, it is us, the Baloch here in Europe, in the Middle East, that right now have this freedom to congregate. In Balochistan, when they have this congregation, like we're having now, they're going to become, killed, they will be executed, they will be put under arrest. They do not have these basic freedoms. And so we here in the West, we must become their greater voice. And we must carry this voice to the highest levels of political discourse throughout Europe, the United States, wherever we can. Because, yes, we have come onto this path. It's a very difficult path. Many lives have been lost. But the outcome, the final vision, is an independent Baloch state. We cannot work within a Pakistan or an Iran. They are both failed states. It is only a matter of time before they completely disintegrate. So I would really urge all of our leaders, and at this point I would like to say, I have been greatly inspired by the number of the Shaheed that you see here, by SB.Bugti, by Shaheed Mir Balajmari, by this gentleman, Haq Nawaz, and all the other Baloch men, women and children that have given their lives. They actually have become my leaders. A leader is one that leads the vision forwards. And right now, the leaders that I look to are the ones on the ground that are carrying out the most difficult work and pushing forwards for our independence. And it will be a shame if we cannot come together and give them a greater voice on the international stage. We really do require a single platform of united action. I think that there is also, I would actually like to mention, when I came into the Baloch movement, I come from quite a political family anyway, but I first and foremost always deemed myself as a Baloch, as a Baloch nationalist. It did not really occur to me this idea of a Baloch female nationalist or a Baloch male nationalist. These are ideas that have only really come to the fore for me recently. You are all aware that right now, the demonstrations on the ground in Balochistan are being led predominantly by Baloch women. And they are doing an incredible job at great risk to life and limb. I am, as some of you may be aware, the UK representative of the World Baloch Women's Forum. And I think that it is really important that we all appreciate this fact that Baloch women have become pivotal to the struggle and to our movement for independence. Right now, in eastern Balochistan, there are up to 300 Baloch women that are languishing in Pakistani prison cells. And this is a shame. It's a great shame. This should not be happening. So my heart goes out to them. Again, I would like to really finish by speaking about our need for unity. It really is vital right now. We've come a long way. I think that we are moving towards a definitive goal, and we should keep that at the forefront of our minds in all of our interactions. We should keep that, this vision of an independent Baloch state, on the map, because it will be on the map. It's just a matter of time.